Hey, hello, this is Craig Renner from CTR Franchise Consultants, located in lovely Chesapeake, Virginia. Some of you people have been going to my website, seeing that I've been promising you a series of instructional videos in the franchise industry. And today's marks the history of CTR Franchise Consultants. I'm actually doing my first online video other than the one you see on my site now, which gives you an introduction to my services and what we can provide for you. Now, many of you folks are wondering out there, what is a franchise consultant? All right, I want to talk to you a little bit about how the industry works. So if you understand how the industry works a little bit, then you're going to understand what I'm doing, some of my philosophies, and how I'm going about finding the information for you that you're looking for. All right, first of all, how did I get your information? CTR Franchise Consultants got the information from you. At one time, you were on the internet giving your personal information and your interest. And when you did that, that personal information was put into a database that a series of consultants bid on. We actually pay for your leads. So when you get that phone call, if you tell me, hey, I'm not interested, I don't know where you got my information, you actually gave it to us, and I paid $15 for that lead. So there's where sometimes the franchise consultant can get a little angry because, and we do, we spend a lot of money in advertising to purchase those leads. So that's to answer your question. That is where we get your information. So when I call you and I say, hey, Joe Blow, hello, I'm Craig Renner from CTR Franchise Consultants. You contacted me on my website. You might not have come on my website directly, but what you did do is go out to one of our numerous subsidiaries and put information out there for one of the franchises. And like I said, my company bought that lead and got that contact information. And it really works on a rotating basis. There's 250 consultants buying from the same lead company. They're going to go just like car sales, and they're going to rotate around. If I have East Coast leads and the gentleman in front of me might get New York, and that guy wants to start a master franchise and make a lot of money, I might miss it by one, and I get the next guy that's somebody from West Virginia was just on the internet, and he's a college student, really doesn't really have the capital and liquidity to even be able to do anything. So it's a dice roll. In the franchising consulting industry, we call it it's a numbers game. It's all about how many numbers you get in there, how many leads you buy determines your success. Of course, the more leads you have coming in, the more probability and chances you have for success. As far as leads go in a turnaround, probably out of every 100 leads, one will turn into a prospect that actually turns into a client that signs a franchise agreement, which leads me as a good segue into my next issue. I'm going to tell you on the phone that, hey, how you doing? I'm Craig Renner. One of my sub-brokers are going to call you, and I'm going to tell you that there's absolutely no charge for this. And you're going to say, how is there no charge for these services? And I'm going to explain this to you, but you have to listen, because this is where it gets a little fishy, and this is where it can people need to understand what the franchise consulting industry is doing and how the consultants are making their money. I call you, I present to you, I get some information. I have to pre-qualify you first, like I talk about in my video. You're going to have some liquidity, you're going to have capital, you're going to have an SBA loan approved, you're going to have some money to buy this franchise. Let's just say I take you over to company ABC and I introduce you to their director of franchising. We do a teleconferencing calls. We may do a series of calls, and you decide to buy from that franchisor. The day you sign that franchise agreement, I as a consultant will get a percentage of that franchise fee that you're paying that franchisor. And commissions for us can range anywhere from $8,000. It can be up to $15,000 depending on what type of deal it is. So that's where when we say there's no service charge or there's no charge for our services, we're going to receive a commission. So it's a expansion of force for the franchisers out there, because they have these independent brokers working for them. They pay them the money. They still make some profit. And we as a consultant team gets a profit also. So that's how we get paid for doing our services. One of our motives, let me just tell you this. If I had a list of 250 franchises and I had 200 of those franchises that paid $20,000 in commission or more, which one am I going to give to you as the client? Of course, I'm going to be pushing you for those 200 franchises. If I have 250 franchises and I have 15 that offer me a $20,000 commission, which franchise am I going to be pushing to you as the client? I'm going to be pushing the ones with the $20,000 commission. Now this is where I will speak for my company and tell you that we do not do that, because I have a different methodology in how I do this. I, working with a client, if I see the intent and the desire that you really want to buy a franchise, and you are qualified to buy a franchise, I will give you access to every franchise that I represent and allow you to go shopping. That way I can guide you down the path on what you're looking for. If you're making the biggest investment of your life, don't you think you would like to have somebody on your side that's not pushing for a high commission, but is pushing to give you what you want? And that's what I'm guaranteeing that I will do at CTR Franchise Consultants, or any of my brokers will do that for you. We're going to allow you access to every single franchise that we represent, and we're going to let you go look, and when you have questions, then we will get the questions answered for you. Again, which is another segue into why do you use a consultant over going directly to Company ABC? Well, Company ABC is one-dimensional. They're only going to tell you about Company ABC. Now, if that's the one you want, that's fine. However, with over 4,000 franchises out there, you might have a company that you've never heard of before that might offer you what you're looking for professionally and financially. And that's where the consultant comes in, and we can present to you different models that you're looking for. But again, when I deal with a client that doesn't know what they're looking for, that's when it's time to go out and say, hey, Mr. So-and-so, why don't you go out and look at my site, see if there's anything out there that interests you. And I've done this before, and I've sparked interest from clients that said, wow, I didn't know that franchise even existed, and they ended up purchasing it, and it was a win-win situation for both of us. So I hope that's helped you. Just to summarize, again, a franchise consultant, we act as independent contractors for some sublet companies out there. I work for the Business Alliance Incorporated. There's other companies such as Fran Choice, or some of the big ones. And what we do is basically subcontract under these companies to represent the franchisors that they represent. We receive our commission from the franchisor once a client signs his franchise agreement, and it's usually a percentage of that franchise fee. The reason you should pick a franchise consultant is we can help you. Now, if you read Franchising for Dummies, they're going to tell you don't use a consultant for the reasons I just told you in the video. But I'm telling you, you come to a firm like mine, CTR Franchise Consultants, I'm going to give you access and let you look. And I'm going to tell you what I have. I'm not going to make it a big secret anymore, because that's what's so sneaky about this business. Everyone wants you to keep it a big secret. Why? All right? If I represent Amco Transmissions, why can't I tell you, hey, are you interested in Amco Transmissions? All right, so that's the first of my video series. Future series are going to cover topics such as introduction to franchising. We're going to look at franchise fees, tell you a little bit about how franchise fees work. Then we're going to go into the types of franchises. Then we're going to go into the Uniform Franchise Offering Circular, which is going to be renamed the Uniform Franchise, the UFDD, on 1 July. We're going to talk a little bit about what this document is and why it's important to you to understand this document and what to look for. Then we're going to talk about some different resources for finding SBA loans, things of this nature. And then I'm basically going to also talk to you about, hey, how do you determine if you're qualified to buy a franchise? So this is the first series. Welcome your friends to come look at it. I am open to phone calls. Call again at CTR Franchise Consultants, area code 757-572-4224. Again, 757-572-4224. Looking at the bottom of your screen. Give us a call and we'll be ready to help. Hey, I look forward to dealing with you and educating you. Hopefully I'll get a base of clientele that starts looking at this site and passes it on, and I look forward to helping each and every one of you in the future. Thanks a lot.